Good morning, students. Once again, welcome back to C++ class. Our subject name is Programming in C++. Okay, so in the first class, already I have completed what is the syllabus and what is the weightage of each unit and your exam pattern. Next, what advanced features you have in a C++ compared to C programming, and what advantages you have in a C++ that already I have completed in the previous class. In this class, here I am going to explain you about procedural oriented programming and object oriented programming. See, what is a procedural oriented programming and object oriented programming is, as I already said, C++ is an extension of C programming. But C programming is called as a procedure oriented programming, and whereas C++ is called as an object oriented programming. Okay, so what features you have and how program execution done in a C and how program execution done in C++. What is the procedure oriented, what is the object oriented, that we will discuss in this class. Okay, so first we will discuss about procedure oriented programming. Procedural oriented programming means the total program is a collection of functions, and that functions are executed in a particular order. Like in C programming, I have given main function. From the main function, you are calling another function. So main function is the outer function, and whichever function you are calling, that is called as the inner function. So in this sequence, in a particular order, the functions or the program is executed in the procedure. Whereas that does not happen in a C++. Whichever function you call, only that function will be executed in C++, because C++ is the object-oriented programming, whereas C is a procedure-oriented programming. Okay, now first we will discuss about procedure-oriented programming. Next we will go to the object-oriented programming, and I will explain the difference also. What is the difference between procedure-oriented program and object-oriented program? Okay, here first we will discuss about procedural. See, in the procedural, first one is a conventional programming language. Okay, conventional programming language means it follows the tradition, and this is also called as a traditional programming language. Okay, and in this programming language, actually we have some programming languages which follows this methodology. Okay, like C, Basic, Fortran, we have different programming languages. That languages follows this method. Okay, and next, in this procedural oriented programming, whatever total programming is there, that total program is divided into a different function, or we can say that a program is a collection of different functions. Okay, what is a program in procedural oriented? It is a collection of different functions, and that functions are executed in a particular order. Okay, in a particular sequence. Right. Next, come to the third one. It consists list of instructions. As I already said, procedure-oriented program is a collection of functions, and that functions are executed in a particular order, and each function is a collection of instructions or collection of statements. See, already I have explained some function I have explained in the C programming. In some function, what statements I have given, what I have given in the body section, body of the function, C equals to A plus B and print C. So that instruction, that statements you have. So in a procedural oriented programming, we have number of functions, and each function is a collection of statements and collection of instructions. That statements and instructions gives some instructions to the system, some instructions to the compiler. According to that instruction, the program will be executed. That happens in a procedural oriented program. Now, the next one is here global variable accessed by all the functions. See, already I have explained different types of variable in C programming. Local variables, global variables. So whatever variables you declared as a local variable, that variable can be accessed by only that function. Okay. Whereas before the main function, I have declared some variables which are called as a global variable. Okay. So in C programming, whatever global variable you declare, all those global variable can be used by all the functions you have declared in the program. Okay. So there is no security for the global variable. If it is a global variable, that can be used by all the functions. Okay. Now, the next one is primary focus on function, not on the data. See, in procedure-oriented programming, what happened is, what is the function and how that function will be executed, and how that function will be executed, and how that function is called, and whether the function is executing in the sequence order or not. Only means the main primary focus is on the function, not on the data. What data we should declare and how the data should be written and how that data should be executed. That means there is no focus on the data. The primary focus on only the function, how to write the function and which sequence the function should be executed. The programmer will main focus on the functions only, not on the data in a procedure-oriented programming. So here I will give you one picture which illustrates the procedure-oriented programming. Okay. Now here this is a simple picture which illustrates the procedural programming. So in the procedural programming, what happens? Whatever main function is there, the total main function is divided into sub-functions. Again, the sub-functions are divided into more sub-functions. So here, whatever total program is there, that total program is divided into functions, and that functions can be called from the main function. This is the procedure-oriented programming. This part already I have explained in a C programming. Okay, so here, see example, I want to execute function 5. So from where should I come? From the main function to function 1, function 1 to function 5. Okay, so directly we can't execute function 5 because here the functions are interlinked. In which sequence you have written the function, in the same sequence you have to call the function. Okay, means function execution should follow some particular order. In that order only the function should be executed. Okay, here that actually the main drawback. What is the drawback here? Here, example, if you want to change anything in the function 5. So directly you can't change. From where we should come? From the main function we should come. So it is a drawback. Okay. So in the procedure-oriented programming, what happened? If you want to change any data, any function content, any instruction, directly we cannot change. We should come from the root function. Okay, and that is the first drawback. Now, come to the second drawback. Here, functions, it is nothing but actually functions are written to perform a specific task. But we cannot design functions based on the real-time applications. Okay, so the functions are not designed based on the real-world problem. That is the second one. Now, the third one is here the main drawback of function concept is they are not showing more important to the data. Okay, so they are giving importance for only the procedure. How you have written the function, in which sequence you have written the function, in which sequence the function should be executed, and how to call the function. Okay, and what are the local variable and what are the global variable. Okay, only that means the main focus on the procedure, not on the data whatever you are storing. That is a drawback. Okay, that is one of the drawback of procedural. And the second one is no security for your global data. So whatever global data is there, that global data can be accessed by all the functions. So if you want to restrict global data for only few particular functions, it is not possible. Okay, so that is also drawback. The next one is here in procedural oriented programming, maintenance is difficult. See, if you want to update any content or any data in a function 6, from where we should come? From main function to function 3 and function 3 to function 6. So it is difficult to maintain this procedural-oriented programming. Next, here procedural-oriented programming, it is a tradition. As it is a traditional programming, it will accept only the predefined data types. If you want to create your own data type, if you want to create any new data type, it won't accept. So it is also one of the drawback of procedural-oriented programming. So to overcome these drawbacks, here we are learning, means in order to overcome from that drawback, we are learning object-oriented programming in C++. Okay, means how objects are created and how these problems, these difficulties, these pitfalls can be done, that we learn in a C++. Okay, so all of you take screenshot of this. Okay, only one point is there is a procedural-oriented programming. Whatever total program is there, that total program is divided into subsections. That subsections are called as functions. Okay, so one child function can create another child function. But whenever you want to execute the child function, you should come from the root function. So when you want to update any content in the child function, you should come from the root. So it is a drawback. Actually, it is not a drawback. These are the small disadvantages of procedural-oriented program. Now we will discuss about object-oriented program. I will differentiate so that clearly you will get what is the procedural and what is the object-oriented. Procedure-oriented, object-oriented. So here I will explain object-oriented program, and at the same time I will differentiate procedure-oriented program and object-oriented program. See, in object-oriented program, whatever total program is there, that program is divided into different objects. Okay. So, and objects can communicate with each other. There is no particular order in which sequence the program should be executed. Like that, here there is no particular order. Whatever total program is there, that program is divided into different objects, and object is a collection of data and members. Data and members. And here one object can freely communicate with another object. And in object-oriented program, their main focus on data. This data should be protected, and the data with the object only, and the object which is communicating with that example here, this object is communicating with this object. Only these objects can only share the data. And so in object-oriented program, the data cannot be moved free to whichever object they want to access the data. Okay, and here in object-oriented programming, the main focus is on the data. Okay. And one more, the basic advantages of object-oriented program is, according to the real world problems, you can design the objects. Okay. And example, you are creating a project for a bank. Their customer is an object, bank is one object. They can communicate with each other. Okay. So bank is one object, customer is one object. About customer, what will store? Customer name and customer phone number, customer address, that will come under data. And what operations the customer is performing, amount depositing and withdrawing, taking loans, that will come under customer object. Issuing and taking amount from a customer, giving loans, that functions will come under the bank. Means according to the real world object, real world requirement, you can design the program using a object-oriented programming. Whereas that is not possible in a C++, because in a C programming. Because in programming, what happened actually in C programming, total program is divided into functions. Function is a set of instructions. So according to the real world requirement, you cannot design the program. Okay, you cannot split according to the real world entities. But here, if you are designing a project, in that project, if you have so many objects, and for each and every object, there is a data and a function. So we'll store that information in that object only. Okay. Now, based on that, here we have some difference. You can see, again I will explain this also. This is a procedure-oriented program, and this is the object-oriented programming. Example, it is a C and it is a C++. Okay, so in procedure-oriented programming, whatever total program is there, that program is divided into functions. I hope you all know how to design program into functions. Already I have explained this part in a C programming. Main function, sub, subtraction, such functions I have explained. Okay, according to your requirement, you can create n number of functions in a C program. In case of object-oriented programming, whatever total program is there, that program is divided into objects, entities. That entities are called as objects. See example, you are writing a program for a bank example. In the bank, how many people you will get? Customer you will get, account holder you will get, bank manager. So bank manager or bank is one object, customer is one object. About customer, what you will store? That information will be the customer object. About bank, what you will store? That is with the bank object. And what operations the customer can perform? See like this. We are writing a bank program. This bank program is, in this we have only two objects. One is customer and the second one is a bank. About customer, whatever information you want to store, that is in a customer data. Whatever information you want to store in a bank, that is in a bank. And what operations customer can perform, savings, deposit, that are the functions of customer. And the next issuing amount, taking amount, that will come under the bank functions. Okay, so according to the real world requirement, you can design program in object-oriented programming. So in object-oriented programming, whatever total program is there, that total program is divided into a number of objects. Okay. Now the second one is importance is on functions. Means how to write the function, how to execute the function, what is the sequence of the function, how many functions should be written, and how many sub-functions should be written. So in a procedure-oriented programming, the main focus is on the function, not on the data. Okay, so any variable, here the function can share the global variable. So there is no restriction for the data also. So they are not showing importance. Procedure-oriented program is not showing more importance to the data. Procedure-oriented program is showing more importance to the procedure. That is a function. Now, in object-oriented programming, main importance is given to a data. Customer data in the customer object only. Bank data with the bank only. Okay, so customer can perform actions on his data only. Security for the data. He cannot access the bank data. There is a security. So, in object-oriented program, the more importance, the more security is given to a data, not the procedure. Okay, now the next one is top-down approach. Top-down approach means, already I think you have all seen main function. From the main function, we used to call child function, sub-function in the C programming. Okay, so first we call the main function, and from the main function, example sum is a child function, that is called. So procedure-oriented programming is following top-down approach. Whereas in object-oriented programming, we are following bottom approach. Okay. Now, no access specifiers. No access specifier means here. Access specifier means what means if you have a data, whether the data can be accessible by all the functions, all the object, or if you want to provide any security. So if you don't want to allow others to access the data, then we can restrict others from using your data by using access specifiers. So before a variable declaration will give like this, public int a. This variable can be used by any function. If I give a private, that cannot be used by all the functions which you have created inside the program. So these are called as access specifiers, which are not available in a C program. Whereas access specifiers are available in C++. Now the next one is data can be moved freely. Data can be moved freely means, example already I have explained, global variable can be accessed by any function. So that global data is moving from one function to another function. Whereas in C++ that is not possible. Data with the object, only whatever functions are there in that object, only that can operate on the data. See here, customer data is with the customer object. Okay, a bank data with the bank object. Customer cannot access the bank data because bank data is a private. So in object-oriented programming, data cannot freely move from one object to another object. Whereas in case of procedural-oriented program, data can be moved from one function to another function, one place to another place. Here we have a more differences that I will explain now. Only if you have explained procedure. Okay. Now here more differences. Add a new data is not easy. See, if you want to add a new data in C, what you will do? You will go to the main function. There you will add a new data. Again you will save. Again compile. So example in function, if you want to add any new local variable, then again you have to come to the function. There you have to add a new variable. So that is a little bit difficult process. But in case of object-oriented methodology, directly we will go to that object and we will add the new data. So no need to declare more number of variables in object-oriented methodology. So data hiding is not possible in a C programming. Data hiding means if you want to give a restriction to access any data from to other functions or a particular function, it is not possible in a C programming. Whereas it is possible in a C++. Okay, if you give any variable as a private, so other functions cannot access that data. So you can hide your data from accessing the functions. Overloading not possible. Overloading means here overloading is nothing but the same function, different parameters. Means you can create more number of functions with the same name, but number of arguments whatever they know, that should be different. So that feature is not available in the C programming. That features are available in a C++. Now next examples of procedure oriented C, VBScript, Pascal. These three programming languages are using the procedure oriented programming. Next C++, Java, VBNet, that programming languages are using a object oriented methodology. So these are the differences. The main differences between a procedural and object is, in procedural language we are using functions. In object-oriented language we are using objects. Okay. So in procedural-oriented language, data can be moved from one function to another function very easily because they are sharing a global variable. But in case of object-oriented language, data cannot move freely from one object to another object because whatever functions are there in the object, only that function can operate that data. That facility is available. And overloading is not possible in procedural, whereas overloading is possible in object-oriented programming. Okay, and data hiding is not possible in procedural, whereas data hiding is possible in a C++. Is nothing but in object-oriented programming, and reusability is also there in C++. That is not there in a C programming. That means procedural-oriented programming. Okay, so these are the different key points. Again, these key points we are going to discuss in the next chapter. Okay, you try to focus on this because these are very, very important to start our syllabus. Okay, thank you.